happy Thursday evening, everyone. It's, it's Easter weekend right around the corner. And as we were talking earlier, Amy was out as a homeless person.
Hey, what conversation we have before the show is supposed to stay before the show. Look, he even canceled himself. Greg has canceled himself. But yes, it was supposed to stay before. But like me and Travis were talking earlier, I don't know what has happened to me. Greg, I don't know what has happened. But the fact that for some reason I just slipped my mind that it was Easter this weekend. I know I am an awful person, but I was looking like the ratchet, hot mess, raggedy mom going to the store, getting like candy and stuff from my goodie bags. And we've also already said that Greg would be the one taking my photo and posting it, being like, this is what Amy looks like in real life, okay? Yes. Not like this. I don't. I'm not even going to lie. No. But yeah, Greg, that was supposed to stay, behind the scenes. So
was that a behind the scenes?
I don't know why you got to be like that. You're just asking to get the slap. What is it? You're going to get the slap around the Comic-Con community, okay? I don't know why. It's like every show we get on now, man. I don't know why you got to ask for that. Oh, man.
Well, I think the one thing that everybody does want to know about, because we talked about it on Tuesday, is how did the dog training go on Wednesday?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, Travis, let me fill you in a little bit. Okay, before I say what I'm going to say, because it's going to sound really bad, and I feel like I've got to kind of brace you for this fall here, okay, of my epic fallness. So I got a puppy when my husband was out of town. Granted, I had waited 2 years since my other dog had died. My husband went out of town. My mother was in town. I went and got a puppy. Long story. Okay, whole thing. There's a whole thing. Anyways, so I got this puppy. I've put this puppy now in training classes. So we don't know if this puppy is a Weimaraner mixed with a lab, or according to my vet, he's mixed with a Great Pyrenees, and he's just going to be this big ass dog. Okay, I didn't know what I was getting into when I thought like bigger dog would be great, but this dog is 40 pounds and he's not even 5 months old. Okay, just to kind of give you a little reference point. So I took this dog on week 2 to training. Okay. All right. I have a bougie ass dog. I'm not even going to lie to you. Okay. This dog, he walked in this week. We didn't have to have the dividers up because he's super skittish. I don't know if he was abused or what, but he's super skittish of just people being in a store, I guess. So we get in. This dog walks in, looks at the other dog, sits with me, lays down. He goes to sleep. My damn dog went to sleep in training. Can you believe this? Okay. And then I worked with him all week. I was like, we're going to do walking. We're going to nail this. Okay. Like, yeah, I practiced all week. I was like, oh, we're going to be advanced. We're going to do this. Right. I bought new treats for my dog because last week he didn't like my treats. He only liked the trainer's treats. So I bought new treats. I was like, we're going to just nail this. Okay. Well, besides the fact I walked into training, I forgot my damn clicker. So the lady had to give me a clicker. So I already look like this bad pet mom because I forgot my clicker for training. Then my dog lays down and goes to sleep, and he's drooling at this point. Okay. Because we have pointed it out that he's drooling. Okay. Anyways. And so he does the walking and everything. We come back in, sits down. The lady's looking at him, goes to sleep. I don't remember what she was saying. Just now, can't be bothered with any of y'all. So he's just bougie and likes nobody, and fell asleep again during training. Now, is he like this at home? No. No. He's trying to kill my cats at home. He's doing the zoomies all over the place. He's picking a playing fight with my other dog, and me and my kids are giant chew toys. Okay, so I don't know why he chooses my house and not training to do this, because in training he's just, oh, he's so sweet, he's just so calm, he lays there, he's just so sweet, and I'm over here like, to hell he is, like, no, like, this is not the real dog. Okay, he's straight up business. So he's bougie in every avenue, and he is fake as hell, because he's not like that at all. But yeah, because I also made the joke, and not my humor is not for everybody, and I know this. But I made the joke. I said, well, if he really wanted to, he could break my arm, because he tease on my arm sometimes. She didn't like that. She was like, "Oh no, he shouldn't be even nipping at you. That is serious." I'm like, "No, lady, it's not in an aggressive manner, like by any means. He's just, I have this little rat dog, a little Chihuahua Yorkie thing. So when he bites me, it's like a pinch. When Bruno bites me, being this big, huge dog, I feel like he could break my arm. Like I was just putting it in perspective. It went downhill. It went downhill real quick. Okay. But for the moral of the story, my dog is bored, I guess, of training and doesn't like other dogs. I don't know. Because then he tried to hide. It just was crazy. Yeah. I even tried to get Josh to take him this time. I was like, maybe you should do it. No. So I have a bougie ass dog that's bored and training, and it's I guess it's for me to get out and talk to people because I'm the damn peoplest person in the world. Because I just everybody, I guess. So yeah, that's how training's going. Greg, it's fabulous. So yet again, offer stands. If you would like to come up next week and take him, you are more than welcome. More than welcome.
There's 3 of them here. I don't need another.
Oh, well, see, but he's only 1 and he's 4 months old. And, you get to go to PetSmart for an hour and talk with people. No, we're going to opt out of that.
I'm going to opt out of that.
Well, that's just wrong. That's wrong on so many avenues. Okay. Like, I don't know why you're not jumping at this opportunity like I am. Okay. Because I just love people. So, I'm just saying.
Lordy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to do.
My week was all taxes, so I'm good. My week's over. I'm happy.
You want me to drink for you? I will drink for you because that sounds awful.
Please.
Awful. No.
But what we want to do is we do want to welcome our guest today, Travis Huffman of Last Sentry Comics. And first, before we even get started, I do want to say congratulations. I believe you had a wedding about a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
We got back last Monday. The first part of the trip was the wedding part of the trip was really great, and getting stuck in Orlando, our flight. We got to the airport. We were supposed to fly out on Saturday to fly back home to Houston, and get to the airport. There's a delay. Then finally they get us on the plane. And then when we get on the plane, they're like, we've got several planes sitting out on the runway. There's tons of planes in the air. We're not taking off. We don't know when we're going to take off. About 2 hours of sitting there, they finally came and said, the flight's canceled. So we had to get off the plane. And we said, what about our luggage? That's going to Houston. So my wife stood in line with her family for about 3-4 hours before they were able to rebook the flight. And we got stranded in Orlando with no clothes, no hotel. We had to find a hotel. And they
didn't even put you up in a hotel. Oh, see, Travis, you should have called me because people don't want to hear from me. I would have had that whole thing comped for you because I can get loud. I'm a loud person. So I would have been loud.
There was a lot of loud people there.
Okay.
It was bananas. Like by the time we finally got out of the airport, we got to the hotel. We were able to find 2 hotel rooms, and I think they were probably the last ones in town.
Wow.
And they didn't rebook us. We were supposed to fly on Saturday. They didn't rebook us until Monday night at like 9:50. We got back to Hobby Airport at about midnight, and then we finally got our luggage. It was total chaos finding our luggage. I mean, they had like Houston, the HPD was watching because people were going past the barricades trying to find their luggage from like 3 days prior. And we finally got out of there about 2 a.m. So yeah, the trip itself was fun. That was not fun.
Oh yeah. That sounds like the comeback from hell. That's honestly what it sounds like. But at least the rest of it was fun. So congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, I know what some people want to know, especially Davy Jones, since I do know he made the comment, is what's new with Last Century?
Well, we did a Kickstarter back in November. It's fully funded,
Nice.
and we are we ended up adding quite a few pages to it. So most people thought they were getting a 56-page comic, and it's actually going to be 100 pages. So they're getting about double the comic for having to wait about a month because we wanted to make sure it was right. We've had some issues with the printers that we normally use. Um, right now, there's a big paper shortage, so a lot of the printers are kind of having issues, and um, we ended up we're about to go to print. We're actually doing the last of the edits and the lettering, but all the artwork's done. I was just talking to the letterer just a second ago, and he's working on the finalizing the lettering for it, and then we got a little bit of editorial stuff, just make sure there's no typos or anything like that. But we have that going to ship out to people soon. Um,
Very nice. But that is definitely more than a few pages.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We added quite a bit, and then we started doing. We just started doing a. We're making comic books for businesses and individuals now. So we have businesses that are hiring us to make comic book advertisings for them, and then individuals are hiring us to make their childhood, adulthood dreams come true. So we kind of teach them how to make comics in the process, and um, we've just signed a couple of contracts. We're about to be in a magazine here, and we're based out of Pearland now, and there's a magazine here called Pearland Lifestyle, and we are producing kind of like some PSA type comics for it's called Community First Emergency Room. We teamed up with them to make some PSAs. So yeah, we're just doing a little bit of everything.
And before we get into, I know some of the stuff that you definitely want to talk about, but you had mentioned that you're making people's dreams come true with the comic books.
Hmm.
Now, do they send you the stuff in panels? Do they just send you written out what they want? How do they go about doing that? How would they go about getting y'all to make the comic books for them?
Well, typically what we're doing is that. So let's say somebody comes to us and they say, "Hey, I've had this idea for a comic book forever," and we kind of ask, what's your budget? What are you working with? Then we kind of make a plan from there. It depends on if they know how to write a script. Any part of it that they know how to do kind of takes out uh, that expense. But what we do is a lot of times is they just have a story. We have writers and we have artists. We have people that we've worked with for years all over the world. And then what we do is the person that wants to make the comic, they give me a budget, and then I go through and I hire pretty much the entire team, and we make them a comic.
Very nice. Now, just curious, have you ever thought about maybe giving classes some way of having people learn how to do the scripts for comic books or write the panels?
We've been looking into it. We thought about doing some kind of like some online courses just to show our process. Um, you know, the thing about it is there's no true way to do things. I know I have a process, and then pretty much everyone that works with me kind of follows that process. But yeah, it's something that we've looked into, and we may end up doing. And that's part of the process too. Is I teach people when when they hire us to do a comic book, I teach them how to do it in the process, so that if eventually they want to say, I want to do this on my own, they can, or they can keep asking us to help them do it. Either way works, but I have several people how to keep going, and how to do it on their own, or how we do it.
Definitely. Now let's definitely get to some of the stuff that you want to talk about, which I think is. Let me think. My brain's going. My brain's going here. The Stalker.
Yes. So the Stalker, that's our main series. It's kind of it's a pulp era story, set in the late 1930s, and it's like the Shadow, the Phantom, the Green Hornet, those kind of characters. Those are just characters that we always loved, or that we still love. Um, but the Stalker, the unique thing about the Stalker is there's been a Stalker all throughout time, like all different historical uh, eras. And there's this immortal named Kism Cray, who he gets a vision of who the next Stalker is going to be. So the Stalker can be anybody, a man, a woman, um, it doesn't matter. And he goes and he picks who the Stalker is going to be, and then the Stalker gets all the memories and knowledge of all the previous Stalkers. So, yeah, we have the new one that's most of everything set in the pulp era, but we have this new title. I mean, this new the Bone Walker saga, which was our Kickstarter. It centers around a villain that's kind of plagued the Stalker throughout these different time frames. So you're going to get to see the pulp era versus the pulp era Bone Walker, the pulp era Stalker. I mean the Viking era version of the Stalker. You're going to see the Revolutionary War version of the Stalker, the Wild West version of the Stalker, the Arthurian age. It kind of starts out with King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table and Excalibur, and we've kind of made this crazy story that everything kind of mixes together.
Um, so like each story kind of it collaborates with the other stories.
Right. In each one, we're revealing a piece of the story to the reader. And so it's kind of like they're reading the first part of multiple chapters of a book. So the way we did this, the way we set it up is kind of like an anthology where each chapter and each story has a different creative team. So we've got different artists on each different one. So it makes it all look and feel different.
And does that go with your other one? I'm bad at pronunciations, but Kazim.
Kism
Kism.
Cray. It's called Kism Cray. He's that's our other book, and this one ties into that. So this story, there's a in Kism Cray #1. You get the story of um, this locket, and this Bone Walker saga tells you what that locket is.
Oh, nice. So, is it best to read about Bone Walker before reading this, or how would you suggest? Is there an order to it?
I would get the Stalker #1. Stalker #1 that's the first pulp era version of the Stalker, and it kind of flows along. And then when you get to the end of the Stalker 3, we get introduced to the villain, and then as then you'll be able to kind of to go through and read. Kism Cray is the revolutionary. It starts the revolutionary story, and you kind of start to get a little bit of history of the Stalker and who he is and what's going on, that kind of thing.
Oh, nice. So, and I just shared your Facebook group, but is there a place where they can order it, or?
Right now, they can go to our. We still have the Kickstarter page up. They can go to our website. It's not right now. It's going to go out to our Kickstarter backers first and our Indiegogo. We transitioned over to Indiegogo at the end of our Kickstarter campaign, and so the Kickstarter and Indiegogo people will get the backers will get the comic first, and then in the summer we'll have it for everybody else. Hopefully, by the time we start doing the conventions, at the end of May. We'll have some to bring with us at the shows.
So which is going to be your first convention?
We're doing a small little convention with Bedrock City on May 14th in Katy. And then we're going to do the Retro Palooza in Pasadena. That one is at the end of May, 28th and 29th. And then we're doing the Chaotic Freedom show in that one is at the end of June. And then we're doing Comic Palooza, which is mid-July.
And
That's still far.
I will see you at Lake Jackson for sure.
Yes, yeah.
I think we're actually both on their website.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll be at Comic Palooza. I'll be at that one. I don't know if Greg will be there, but I'll be there for sure at that one.
If I go, I'll be media this time. I won't be going as a
You're
vendor.
gonna come hang out with me. I love it. Yay!
You'll have to stop by our booth. We have a new big giant banner to go back behind our booth, so
Ooh.
you should be able to see it.
Okay. You had me a big banner. Like I love those. I love stuff like that. Like it's just a calling for me. I love things that like stand out and draw my attention. I'm there. I'm literally like the dog up. Like that's just me. So that feeds to my personality for sure. I love it.
Well, a couple of things. I don't know if you saw or not, but Mamarella made a comment which I thought was pretty cool. Is maybe your process when we were talking about teaching others to write the scripts. Maybe your process can help inspire others, especially teens interested in learning how to make comics of their art.
I'm definitely not stingy on information, so anytime somebody comes up to me to a convention, we do some library signings too. We do children's books also. So I put out a children's book several years ago, and we do that, and we kind of tell kids how to do the whole process. So I mean, anytime anybody comes up to us at a con, we always, we give as much information as we can. But I also try to tell people the reality of it, that if you want something, you got to work hard at it. It just doesn't fall in your lap. You can't. I've seen so many comic book creators or indie comic book creators who started around the same time as me, who just kind of gave up. And that's one thing I don't believe in. That I don't believe in giving up. I believe in figuring out how to do it. You figure out solutions to your problems.
Mamarella, what was the children's book?
It's called Rubber Chicken Surprise. It's about a guy who wears a rubber chicken as a hat by accident.
Okay, I love that. I love that. I feel like that's something like I feel like I'm gonna read that and I'm just gonna picture Greg as the person wearing the hat. Oh my gosh, yes.
He can cosplay. He can cosplay. We actually had our very first our first and only cosplayer one year. That was the character, this little boy dressed as the character with the little rubber chicken on his head. It was really cool.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Greg, come on, Greg.
Instead of my cowboy hat, a
yes,
chicken hat.
Yes.
Rubber chicken.
I'm gonna buy it for you and mail it to you.
I would do it.
I think y'all should both do it.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll give y'all a copy of I'll give y'all some copies of the book, and y'all can go
ahead and
spread the word. Hey, this is what I'm cosplaying as. they're over at the Last Sentry booth.
I'm crazy enough to do it.
He is. He legit is. I'm not even gonna lie there. Like we wouldn't even have to bribe him. Like he just would be down to do it. No, I'd do it. I have no problem. Like I said before we got on, I have no shame. Like I will do it.
I have no fear.
No. What was it at Comic Conroe? I was Gwenum, Spider Gwen, whatever everyone wants to call her. And the outfit covered my feet. I literally did not wear shoes at that convention. Like I said, I have no shame. Like it's just, and I prefer to be barefoot anyways. So if that tells you anything about me, I will definitely rock that outfit and pass stuff out and be like, you need to go to this section. Like, yeah, I have no problem being a walking like billboard kind of thing. I will do it. Yes.
There's no fear. Like I said,
Mm-mm.
and it's like I'll definitely see you at. My head's going blank. Chaotic Freedom Celebration. That's actually kind of hard to say for a Comic-Con.
Chaotic. I don't know. I honestly, for me, and like I said, I am like the dog in Up, so we really can't take what I say seriously. But all I hear is chaotic, and then like I just have all these fireworks going off in my head, so I'm just like chaotic, yes, like that's my. That's just kind of like what it is, and then this whole theme song starts in my head, and I'm a walking theme song, But I love that. I love it.
What theme song?
KOTIC too, so it's even more rock star sounding. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can see the fireworks.
Yeah, see, you totally get it. Like it was, I almost, now that you say the whole rock star vibe, I'm not even gonna lie. Now my mind just started playing like a rock version. That's just like, yeah, like I don't know, like a mix between like Slipknot and Metallica, kind of like blended a little bit. So it's not like so hardcore, and then just like fireworks going off, and that's my envisionment of that. So I'm just saying, in my mind, the video is already gone and playing, and I'm just like, yes, do this. I'm just food for thought. Food for thought.
Greg, you can cosplay as that. At that, we'll get you some vinyl pants and one of those mesh shirts and a curly wig.
Oh my gosh! Please take a photo. Oh my gosh! Are you gonna do it, Greg? Remember, you had no fear. You had no fear. Are you gonna do it?
It would look kind of awful with my
I love it.
Gut.
I love it. Oh my gosh! Please take a photo, and then you need some of those like spiky bracelets. I'll go to Hot Topic and get you some. Like. Yes. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're totally gonna do this, and you're gonna rock in like this, and just like, yeah, here to party. Okay.
I would look like a mixture between David Lee Roth and Meatloaf.
How do you feel about Kiss face paint?
Yes.
I know a makeup artist. I do know a makeup artist.
Do this. This is making me so happy. We have got to do this. Because this whole like envisionment in my head's going on, and I'm just like, oh, I need a photo of this. Yes. Okay, this is gonna be good. I'm gonna drive down and get you ready for that show, Greg, and then I'll have to come back, but I'll help you get ready. But yes, oh my gosh, we're gonna do this, and you have to videotape him. He's got to walk in like this and just stand there and be like, I'm ready. Yeah, like okay. This has got to happen because in my mind it's replaying and it's just as funny as the first time it went on. It's great.
I just hope the wrestlers there don't think I'm insulting them.
You know what? They're probably going to come do it with you because you're all just going to have that bond. Okay. Like I'm excited about that whole thing. I can just envision it and it's making me so happy because I'm just laughing in my mind. It's great. Okay. This is calm, cool, collected. I'm laughing really hard on the inside. Okay. And it's kind of carrying over, but I probably am going to just laugh my ass off as soon as we get off because it's just going to be playing all night. It's great.
So
I'm excited.
I would be a mixture of Kiss, David Lee Roth,
and Meatloaf. Yeah. That is interesting. That is an interesting combo right there. But you can rock it. You can rock it. Okay. I'm in full support.
Where's Randy? Where's Elle? I need to sign up for air guitar now.
Oh yes. He's probably gonna beat you. Okay. I'm pretty sure Elle will beat you on it. So just don't have high hopes when you sign up for that. Okay. If you're going against Elle. But, other than that, yes, you should totally do it. I'm just so excited about this face paint, like mesh shirt, and like it's all just, yes. Oh, my gosh. Oh, the memes that I can create with that is just, it's made my year. Oh, my gosh. It has made my year.
Maybe I should should start a fund for me to do this.
Oh my gosh. I can just picture
Donations.
all of them. All
Donations
of the
that
like,
would go to charity.
oh,
There
the
we go.
gifts and the memes, Mombi, that are gonna come out of this if he really does it. Oh, it just tickles me pink. I'm so ready. I'm gonna have so much ammo. Like, please do this. Please
And
do this.
since I see this, I know this will be my last time on the show. You'll never have me back.
No,
Since I
you
suggested
are
it.
my best. Please, can you come back like once a month? This is so great.
Just to
Usually,
make-
I'm the one that gets like roasted and like all this stuff, like how Greg opened the show, totally roasting me and my enthusiasm. So this is like, please come back. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. I love this.
What's the saying? And this will be the second time that I've probably cursed on the show.
Oh,
Karma's a bitch.
Oh my gosh, the first word that you said was shit, and now it's bitch. You, oh my gosh, round of applause. You made me proud. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, Lord.
What am I going to do with you? You're just, you're like, what is it? You're coming out of your cocoon. Oh, I'm such a proud mommy right now.
Yes, Master Kenobi.
You know what? You called me Kenobi, though, and that's like the coolest person, so I'll take it. I'll take it. Biggest compliment in the world right there.
You know, I could always go Darth on you.
You know, but I like him just as much. Like that's the like bad thing about me. I always have a good villain that I like, and then like you always have to like the like badass good character that you're always rooting for, but then you're kind of secretly rooting for the bad guy because he's just cool. Okay, Darth Vader was just cool. He didn't have to say anything. He could just breathe, and you were like, oh, someone's about to get jacked up. Okay, like you could just tell. If that is not the coolest villain. Besides Michael Myers, who didn't, and the old ones, okay, I'm a huge fan of old movies, but in the older ones, not the Rob Zombie ones, he didn't chase you. He just disappeared and then randomly popped up, and you're like, oh my gosh, him and Darth Vader are my people, okay? Like, yes, in terms of villain, okay? But then you have Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love him. He's cool. So that's probably the only good character I actually like, though. Like, yeah.
We've gone from comics to
I know, I'm
cosplay,
sorry.
to movies.
Well, I mean, you called me Kenobi, and you just really rabbit holed down.
Well, I think you went with the chicken hats.
Yeah, you were at that, and then he said that he was going to be at
Chaotic Freedom Celebration.
Yes, and then I just said, fireworks are going off in my head, and then we were totally like rock metaling you out and what you were going to wear, and then we've turned into I'm Kenobi.
See, this is something we're working on. So we got some
cool.
We got some rock star stuff going on with that. So
About
rock star, it made me think about it.
Nice. So you do have a lot of new stuff coming out. I'm sure there's stuff that you can't talk about. Is there anything you can talk about besides the Stalker and the Bone Walker?
We have that one. This is one we're working on right now, and this is the first character, but we have the first printed print of the character, one of the characters. But it's a there's this. Are y'all familiar with public domain characters?
Yes. Yes, I am. No, I'm not.
Okay, so there's public domain is sort of a it's this. Think of characters like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman that were created back in the 30s, 40s. Well, those characters, their trademarks were renewed, their copyrights were renewed, and public domain are characters that were created back during that same time that the trademarks and copyright rights weren't renewed. So they've entered the public domain, and after a certain amount of time, certain characters also go into the public. So that means you and I or anybody else can use those characters freely. So that character is based on a character called the Black Fury from back in the 1940s. And what we've done is we've taken that character and sort of revamped it and made it's 4 girls who were raised by the original Black Fury and now are in a traveling rock band called the Black Furies, and they solve crimes. And that's going to be coming up. We're working on that, and then we're working on our first science fiction comic book called Zenith, and that one's going to be pretty fun because it takes place. It's kind of like a like a Tarzan scenario. You have a infant human who ends up on an alien planet and is raised by aliens, but it's kind of a reverse scenario where they see him as a sub creature. He's more like a primate to them because they're sort of advanced, and one of them raises him, and he becomes a sort of a space police officer.
Oh, cool.
So
that would be wild.
Yeah, that we're doing a completely different. The Stalker's kind of dark and pulpy, and this one's very vibrant, Jack Kirby-ish space comic. So it's lots of neons and pinks and purples, and so it's going to be the complete opposite. We wanted to shift completely opposite with our science fiction comic. So
you had me at neon pink.
Lots of neon pink.
Oh, yes. No, what would top that for me is neon pink and leopard. I mean, I'm just not that I'm recommending, but I'm just saying. Then I would have fangirled, and then I probably would have just bought everything because those are my colors.
Greg,
I'm not going to lie with the Furies. I'm going to give my age here, but I actually picture like comic book version of like Josie and the Pussycats, just a little bit more hardcore.
And that's kind of, we wanted to, like, I people are like, okay, what is it? And I said, well, it's kind of like one of those old Hanna-Barbera shows where it's a mystery of the month, a mystery of the show. Each one's different. And then at the same time, it's got a sort of 1980s A-Team. Those old series, they always had like each episode was different, but it was all the same characters. So kind of the A-Team, Incredible Hulk, where they travel around and they help people. And I say that they're raised by, imagine Batman, but instead of Bruce Wayne, he's Mike Brady.
Okay.
He's the excellent father, and who helps them learn things. And then their mother has a little bit of a mystery too, because she's the complete opposite. So imagine Mike Brady marrying Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
So they're completely the opposite, and they give these girls completely, when they mesh, opposites attract, and their children learn these cool things from them. So each one has an interesting, vibrant character to them. So it's going to be different. It's going to be unique.
Definitely. Like I said, that was given my age with the Hanna-Barbera.
Hey, I'm a huge Hanna-Barbera fan. Like Alex Toth is like my favorite artist of all time. So I don't know if y'all know who he is, but do yourself a favor and look up Alex Toth art. He designed a ton of those 60s characters from Hanna-Barbera, and his art style is so simple but yet tells so much. So yeah, do yourself a favor and check out Alex Toth stuff. He did a lot of comics too, so if you find some Alex Toth comics, you'll love those.
And I'm probably going to have to go get me a costume with a club where I can be Captain Caveman.
Yeah, you could do the leopard print that way. She was talking about leopard print.
Hey, I can supply you in leopard print. Okay. I got leopard print with regular. I got neon pink. I got my red. I got all kinds, man. I can supply you, or I know where to get it. Okay. Leopard should have just been my middle name. I'm just.
Hey, just so you know, William Russell, if you can, up at the top where it says StreamYard permission to see your name at StreamYard.com/Facebook. If you click that, we can actually post what you say on the show here. Otherwise, we're just going to see it on the Facebook chat, which I actually do have up just in case anybody doesn't do that yet. But it should be decent. They're not ones to take information. We did all our research on them. Just so y'all know, we did do our research before we took to some of these programs.
Yes, we did.
Amy sounds so enthusiastic there.
No, well, we did. I wouldn't lie to you. I use them for all of my other ones, so it's legit. So,
But I know with other things, with the comics and artists, because we actually had, who was it, Fred Kill, that actually said, if you want to become an artist, don't have a secondary, don't have an outlet.
Backup plan.
No
Yeah,
backup
no backup plan. I believe so. Oh, hey, Jerry.
So is there anything that you would suggest for that? Or is, because like I said, I know there's hardships with it.
To become an artist or just do comics in general?
A little bit of both.
Well, so I always have people come up to us, or we do at every con, and they say, I've always wanted to make a comic book. And I hear that so much. And I always ask them, well, why haven't you done it? And they always say, well, I don't have the money. But they're standing there and they've got a bag of stuff that they've bought at the con, hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. And I'm like, if you would take your tax return, I cannot tell you how many comic book pages I have made with the money that my grandma or my parents had given me for my birthday or Christmas or some random gift. And I would take that and I would put it in a bank account, and that's what I would pay an artist to draw my comic book. So where there's a will, there's a way. And if you really want to do something, you're going to do it. And I learned by going around to conventions and talking to people, because you'll find it that most, especially indie creators, if you go up and you ask them a question, hey, if you go up and you say, hey, how do I make a comic book? That's pretty broad. If you go up and you say, hey, what's the first step in making a comic book? You're going to get a bunch of unique ideas on how to do that. And you can take that, you can come up with your own way, your own system, and you can start doing it. But, it's a lot of it's trial and error, but a lot of it is being determined that you're going to do it and you're really going to try to do it. And you just make it happen. And sometimes that means you pivot and you shift. I've got less money right now. So what can I do? And buy a book, read a book. I've got several books on making comic books that are fantastic. And I just learn. And then I'll pass it on to the other guys who work with me on this. I'll pass it on to them and they'll learn. And we just get better all the time. Even when we don't have the funding at the moment, we'll learn something new, because you always have to be going. You always have to be moving and getting better.
I see William Russell, because I can't post it. For some reason it's not showing his stuff, and I don't know why. But he put, people love excuses. It gives him an easy out, because if they really wanted to make a comic, they would. They just choose to spend their money on other stuff.
Yeah, and two is it's and a lot of times their hang up is they don't have confidence to get it done, or they feel like, oh well, I don't really know anything, so I'm not going to be able to get it done. And I say, learn what you can. Every chance you get, always be learning something. I'm constantly learning every day. When I get to the office, the first hour that I'm here, I'm either listening to an audiobook, I'm reading something, I'm watching a YouTube video on how to do something. And it might not be about comic books. It might be about business. It might be about accounting. It might be about how to set up a con booth better. And I'm making notes. And it's always learn something. Always pick up as much knowledge as you can. And that's how you get better at anything. And have the confidence. Tell yourself that you're going to do it, and give yourself permission to fail. We failed a lot on a lot of things, but you learn from it. That's how you learn. You know, that's how we from when we were kids. That's how we learn not to do something or how to do something better.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember my first edit was so horrible, I almost cried when I wrote my book. And then each book, the edits were a lot less. So you learn
Right.
as you go. You do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, my first comic goes into Kickstarter into this month. I had no clue how to do it, but I found friends that did and got help. Then I invested my money into myself and my project.
Hey,
It's
that's the way to do it, and ask people questions. I mean, I we had done a Kickstarter before, made a lot of mistakes on that. Then when we did this one, I asked a lot of people how to do some stuff. Where this is the first time we're using BackerKit, which is like it's kind of like a program where you import everything in, and you can charge the shipping after it's over, and you can send out the surveys, and it's a little bit more streamlined than going through actual Kickstarter. So I asked um, some people, how to do that. Um, so I mean, it's all about learning how to do something and doing it different. Um, I asked a friend of mine, Wes Hartman, who does Savage Sasquatch, Savage Sasquatch on Kickstarter, and he's had several successful ones, and I've learned a bunch from him because he does almost one a month now. He'll do it, send the stuff out, do another one, send the stuff out, and I know several creators that do it that way. But yeah, I mean, pick up as much knowledge as you can.
There we go. It finally posted for them. It just took a minute for it to read. But here's a question for you because you said Kickstarter and you were transferring it to Indiegogo or how that. What is the difference between Kickstarter and Indiegogo? Is there one that you would suggest over the other?
It depends on who you ask, but Kickstarter is a little bit bigger of a company. They've been around, I think, a little bit. I think they've been around a little bit longer. Most people know Kickstarter. Um, Kickstarter's green. Indiegogo is kind of a pink. They're basically the same thing, but they have different minor details. Their payment system's different. Um, they Some people claim that um, Kickstarter is more for progressive people and Indiegogo is more for conservative people. I think that's a bunch of you know nonsense because we use them both. I mean, the cool thing is if you do it on Kickstarter first, you can import it into Indiegogo and continue on and keep it up as long as it's making money and people are still buying the stuff off Indiegogo. You can keep it on there as long as you want. Um, so we use them both, and it's all about experience. The interface is just a little bit different, but I haven't found that much of a difference between them.
Sounds like Kickstarter has a time limit, but Indiegogo doesn't.
Well, Kickstarter, yeah, Kickstarter has you have to set up your time limit of what you want it to be, and you can set your. Uh, I don't know if you can set up a flexible goal on Kickstarter or not, but on Indiegogo you can. So Indiegogo you can set it up so that whatever you get, or you can set up a goal. I want $5,000, and once you reach that goal, it's successful and you get that money. But then they have it where it's flexible, so you can set a $5,000 goal, but if you only get 1,000, you still get it. Um, so it's not you can set it up so it's either all or nothing or whatever you get on Indiegogo. But I'm not sure if Kickstarter. I can't remember if Kickstarter does that or not.
I don't think so. All of the Kickstarters that I've been a part of or helped facilitate, it was if they didn't hit their goal, then they don't get anything.
Yeah.
At least
I could.
that's my understanding, which to me is kind of one of those things that sucks, right? Because like, what if you're only like $50 away from your goal and it just didn't happen until, you know, your end date? Then you don't get anything. And that's where it's like, well, we put in all this effort and time and it was almost funded, you know. So I think there's always like pros and cons to different platforms. I had no idea of the other one. I've only heard of Kickstarter, so that's cool. I learn something new every day on this show, so I love it. I love it.
Well, that's what we're here for people to learn new
Yes,
stuff.
it is, and to laugh at, you know, my bougie rap. So yes,
Or talking about the cosplays y'all want me in.
I'm excited about it. I can just picture it. Oh, I can picture it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Like I said, a mixture of David Lee Roth, Kiss, and Meatloaf. Let's see what we got. That's why you need to set your goal that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't set $10,000 Kickstarter goal on a new book for new creator with no fan base.
That's
Right.
true. There's a lot
That's
of people
true.
that do that too. Like you'll have this high end goal, right? And I think that's one of those things. That's why Kickstarters fail. Yeah.
You got to promote it too. I mean, you can't just set it up and walk away. You got to constantly be promoting it and talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
one of
you
those
do.
things.
You can't really take a break. It's just you almost have to share it almost every day, just about, or put an ad out there.
Let's just bring in awareness towards it, right? Because people aren't going to go on Kickstarter just looking at different things to fund. I mean, you have to promote it so your audience based and people connected to it or whatever will see it or we won't. And you also have to keep in mind, right? You know, being the social media person that I am, is the life on social media on different platforms is different. Like on LinkedIn, you still have things in circulation from earlier in the week or from last week. Whereas like on Twitter, if you're not posting 10 times a day, it's hard to get seen. And Facebook is kind of the same way. And you're not always seeing everything. So you have to really kind of just keep putting it out there and stuff, but not in a cramming down people's throat because people don't like that. I don't like that.
No.
I get that you want my money, but make me feel like, you know, I'm not just giving it to you. Okay. You know, It's one of those things. I work hard for my money. So I get it. I understand.
Definitely. I think we all do, especially nowadays with just coming out of I call it coming out of the pandemic where no one was able to work. There was really no money flow. Everybody just getting back on their feet, the cons starting, and they started slow. And now it's almost like it's coming back in full force, which I'm happy about. One, it gives me something to do.
You got to pay $5 for a gallon of gas to get there, but
yeah.
Right. But you know what?
Yeah.
Right now, for me, it's worth it.
Hey, I'll take $5 gas over not being able to do a convention because I really miss doing conventions. That was some of our favorite times ever is doing conventions. Like I love doing Comic Palooza. That's one of my favorite things to do is do a Comic Palooza at the George R. Brown because there's just something. The very first day when we walk in there, because we've been doing the Comic Palooza since 2014.
Oh wow!
And every year it's just something. It's just something about it. I mean, I just love it. We just love it. The smells, the sounds, the fans, and you know, I mean, we'd love doing all the shows, but I'm just saying, Comic Palooza, that's our big one. That's always been our big one, and we just love it. I mean, all three of us, when we show up, we're ready to rock and roll. I mean, it's just a fun experience.
Yep, yeah. I'll be in Artist Alley again this year at Comic Palooza in Texas.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
come by, say hi to us.
Yeah, I felt the same way. So I went to Comic Palooza for the first time ever last year. I want to say, last year. And it really just truly is like something, I almost want to say like magical when you walk in, but I don't mean that as in like a fairy tale, like, whoo, I've walked into a big palace, right? But it's just something like the aura that's there when you walk in, even before like the whole crowd shows up and everything is just so different. And it's just walking in through it. I mean, Lord, it's a lot of walking. Okay. But walking into it, you're just like, man, yeah, this is going to be a fantastic day. Even if I see no one, it's going to be a great day because I get to go see these other cool people. I can go see these cool cars, all this stuff. I'm going to make new friends. Like, yes, I'm going to seize the day. You know, you just feel like this big rush of adrenaline just walking in, even though nobody's there, you know? So
it's a family vibe.
I love
Right.
it. I love it.
It is. No matter what, it's a family vibe. I mean, you're not going to, I mean, you can get the same amount of people in the Walmart. You walk into Walmart and it's like hatred all over.
Oh,
You go to a place like a convention, it's almost like family everywhere.
I don't get adrenaline walking into Walmart. Okay.
I do because I want to get the hell out real quick.
Oh, well, see, I don't. Unless my 2-year-old's like, I gotta pee, there is no adrenaline in that store. Okay. Like, I walk in, like, God, man, I'm back again. I gotta shop these aisles and crap. And then I gotta put it all in my car. And then I just dread it. I'm just like, I gotta get home. Like, it sucks.
I'm going to see that store and it's like, okay, adrenaline rush. Let me get the hell in, get what I want, and get the hell out.
See, no, grocery shopping is not my thing. And it's not the whole act of doing it. Okay. Like, I don't mind being in the store. It's the act of, like, when I get home, unloading that bitch and then putting it up. Okay. I hate that. I wish I could hire someone to just do that part and to fold my laundry. I would be the happiest person in the whole wide world. Because those are the two things that I hate. I loathe those entirely. I loathe them.
We know that you'll be at Chaotic Freedom. We know that you'll be at
Comic-Palooza.
Retropalooza.
And you said there was one on May.
It's one at Bedrock City in Katy. And then we'll be doing Eastern Rim again. We always do Eastern Rim every year. I'm not sure the dates on that, but
it is. I can tell you the dates because there's 3 conventions happening that weekend, and they want us to be a part of all 3 of them, but we can't.
Yeah, see, Comic Conroe's that same weekend,
right? Eastern Rim and Galveston Esports, actually.
So we're
all 3 of them are the same weekend.
We're hoping to set something up where we might be able to do both of them, but I don't know yet. We're still working on that.
That would be cool, but because it's Amy's daughter's birthday.
Homie won't be there. Like, Matt, homie won't be there.
We can't split ourselves up enough.
I know. I can't duplicate. I have yet to figure out why no one has invented a duplication machine or whatever to duplicate people. I feel like that should be around. But yeah, no, my kids were, I brought them into this world. And for me, that was just traumatizing in general, coming from a person that was not ever going to have kids. And then I had 2 back to back. Okay. So I'm going to be there on every birthday to just be like, yes, you traumatize me. I'm here. Okay. Like, we're doing this. So yeah, it's a thing. I gotta be there.
And then I know what is in October. There's something in October. And I don't mean the Texas Ren Fest.
Sure.
October. I don't know. It's not NerdCon.
No. Let's see. Anime Houston's in August.
Yeah, and so is the Celebrity Fan Fest one. And San Antonio's also in August.
Let's see. I know NerdCon is December.
Yeah, we'll do that one. We usually do that one every year.
Ours would be
in October. Is it the horror film fest? Yay, William, you did!
No,
Hi.
Horror Film Fest is in July, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't know.
And my God, the list of people that they have is
is it Kilgore? Is it Kilgore?
Kilgore's in May, the first weekend in May.
Well, see, then I don't know because I've exhausted all the ones that I know that I hear you guys talk about. So I don't know.
Ours starts in 2023, which we're happy about.
William, you win 1,000 high fives. Yes, you do. I feel like that adds up to $1,000, William. It does.
And just so people know, we got to advertise as much as possible. Possible. God, I can't speak today.
Did you say hospital?
Yes, I did.
Oh my
advertise
God.
as much as
Greg.
possible.
Oh my God, that's almost like the wheel of selection. Okay, like, Travis, okay, there's this thing. I'm sure that you've heard of it. It's called the Wheel of Names. Okay, you put a bunch of names in, you spin it. It's like, woohoo, celebrate. Yeah. You can pick people, right? Greg forgot that it's the Wheel of Names. He forgot the word names, and he called it the Wheel of Selection. But he didn't say it like that, okay? He said it, Amy, we're going to do the Wheel of Selection. Like, all I was like, why are we, like, oh my gosh, why are we doing that with the wheel? Like, that's just weird. So now it's like a whole running thing. It's no longer the Wheel of Names on this show. It's the Wheel of Selection. So,
William, that is actually Tri-City Comic Con is going to be coming November in 2023. It's going to be the first weekend in November, and it is going to be at Polk County Commerce Center in Livingston, Texas.
Whee!
Just so you know.
Yes.
But we are actually way past our hour. Shame on us. We're just
time flies when we're having fun, man. Time flies when we're having fun.
But Travis, thank you for coming on our show. And again,
glad to be here.
Congratulations on getting married 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Like, I'm just so happy for you. When Greg told me, I was like, yay.
And she's into comics and stuff too. So she has her own business called Geeky Gorgeous. So she'll be at Comic Palooza. She sells jewelry and.
Oh my gosh, I buy from her. Oh
really?
My gosh.
Yeah, that's my wife.
I love her. Oh my gosh. Yes. I love her and I love her stuff. And I could like sit and talk to her all day in person. I'm pretty sure I did that at Comic Conroe and she was like, get this crazy person. Oh yes. I love her. Oh my gosh. That's so great.
But anyway, everyone, we'd like to thank you for being on our show today, and we will catch you next Tuesday. And then following Saturday, we have the girls from the Houston Area Roller Derby coming on.
Yes.
So we're excited to have them on. Get to learn about a sport on the show. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
It's our first sports show. Our first sports show.
Hey, but you know what? These people, though, I'm not even going to lie. I say it every time. Roller derby chicks scare me because they can kick my ass, and I know it. I know it, and so I'm uber nice to them because I just know I'm 5 foot and, like, I don't know, 130. They could just bulldozer me, okay? And I'm scared. I'm scared of them.
And me and Greg at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah.
But anyway, everybody.
Oh gosh,
yes. There we go. Anyway, everybody, we'll talk to y'all next Tuesday.
Bye, everybody.